All right, so any questions I can answer based on what we've learned so far? All right, no questions. So we'll start with a quick recap. So the very first thing we want to do is we want to create a BRD, which is business requirements document. The goal when we create the BRD is we want to define the scope of the project. We want to ensure that we all understand what are the goals of the project. So once the BRD is defined, now I'm not going to talk here about a project charter that a project manager creates or a kickoff meeting. My goal here is to talk mainly about the role of a BA. So once we define the BRD, the next thing we want to do is we want to understand the as is business. And how do we do this? We read existing business documents, understand the current system in a sandbox environment. So once we do this, we pretty much speak the same language as the business does. We understand the current system. So once this is taken care of, I then want to start gathering requirements. So gather requirements via JAD sessions and identify business rules, functional requirements, UI requirements. Once this is done, create FRD, which is functional requirements document, plus add wireframes to document the UI requirements. So this is what we've done till now. Any questions, anything that does not ring a bell, any questions I can answer? All right, seems like no questions. So now what I want to do is I really want to go back and I want to ensure we understand this aspect of gathering requirements via chat sessions. So the goal for today's session is we are going to go through some case studies, which will help us understand how to gather requirements. And I'm also going to walk you through a real-time FRD for a finance project and for an airlines project. So we'll do 2 brainstorming sessions and I'll walk you through 2 FRDs, one for airlines and one for finance. So the first brainstorming session is related to, let's say it's related to banking. So the current scenario is the as is business is every time there is a direct deposit made in the account, the customer does not receive any notifications. So this is in case of a direct deposit, as well as if there are any automated transfers scheduled from one account to the other, and when the transfer is made, even then, there are no notifications to the customer. So the goal of the project is we want to set up email notifications. So the customer should receive an email notification every time there is a direct deposit being made in the account, or anytime there is an automated transfer request, whether it's succeeded or it's failed, the customer should be sent an email notification. So this is the scope of the project. So it's a pretty small scope, all right? So many times you will be working on projects where they want to make small changes to the current systems. So you still want to gather requirements. So I'll again play the role of SME, and you can play the role of PA, and you can start asking questions. So let's make this interactive, and let's talk. It's okay to ask wrong questions, but let's make this session highly interactive. So let's get started.
Are we working on the same online banking where they were allowed to, where we set up the online banking and we
Yeah,
make wires with the FRD?
yeah. It's the same concept. Yep.
Okay, so my first question to you is, do you want like a checkbox while they fill up the, while they make the account? That
No,
do
no,
you
no.
want?
So let me help you understand this. So now let's assume that online banking project is complete. All right. So that
Okay.
online banking project is complete. The customers are using online banking now. Now, after the project got rolled out, and after 2 years, business wants to make this change. So the as is the customers are able to schedule direct deposits in their account. Um, the as is business is the customers can set up recurring transfers from account A to account B. But the problem is every time a transfer is made, the customers are not receiving email alerts that the transfer has been executed. Or if a transfer fails in terms of a recurring transfer, the customers are not getting notified that there is a problem in the transfer. So the goal here is we want to set up email notifications every time A, and a customer receives direct deposit, or B, customer receives a recurring transfer or a recurring transfer fails. So that's where we are.
I thought this was supposed to be easy.
It is easy. And once we discover the requirements, you'll realize that it was really, really easy.
I know I get notifications like if anything is sent or received in my bank account.
Right. So exactly, we need to set up those notifications, right? So how would you gather requirements for those notifications is the question.
Okay, so what kind of like emails do you want to send? Is that where we start?
Is this what?
Like what kind of emails do you want to send? I know like the direct deposits, but what should the email say? Is that what we are supposed to as SMEs?
Pretty
Or am I going
close.
to
Yes, yes. Nope, you're going just in the right direction.
Okay, so what should the email look like?
Right. So
Or what
let's, I
should the
mean,
email contain?
all right. So good start. However, my goal or my job here is to help you ask the exact questions. So you're almost there. Just going to one step further, one more step down, and ask me more details and exact questions.
Oh, okay, so when any direct deposit is done,
Okay.
maybe when any direct deposit is done,
hmm
uh, okay, I don't have words for this.
That's fine. And exactly this is what I want to happen. I want you to struggle, and that's how you learn. Because it's safe place to struggle here, but when you are on the job, you really want to ask the right questions. So
I know if any direct deposit is supposed to be done from that, I mean, is done from that account, it's supposed to trigger that particular email and send them the
correct.
notification. But that's the answer.
No, no. So that's the ask. Now you need to gather requirements for making this, for implementing this request. So what do you want to do? How would you want to do that?
I don't know.
You're
Anyone
almost there.
help?
You're almost there, Krupa. You're very close.
Oh, geez. Code setup.
I was gonna ask like what happens when the customer, the first thing I'm gonna say is what happens when the customer does direct deposit or transfer? Or we
Nope,
already passed that session, or we already passed that.
nope. Yeah, I mean that's not the goal. That's not that's out of scope.
Is it like how soon you want to send the notification if the deposit clears or something?
Right away was a bad question.
Okay, so what does the young lady was saying before, what should the email say?
Yes,
Um,
that's what Krupa said. But I mean, why don't you go into more details of? I mean, you see if you're asking questions, right? You need to ask the direct question to the SME. So
Uh,
like,
is it what are the data fields, or it should display some sort?
pretty close. But what do you mean by data fields for the email?
Oh, okay, so it should contain the account number and the account user's name.
Uh,
Let's
again,
answer.
nope.
Huh.
It is not at all that difficult that you're trying to make. You're making it.
yeah, I think they're overthinking it.
Yeah. You're really overthinking. All right, now let me give you some hints, right? Now let's say you're supposed to send out an email to someone when something goes wrong or something goes right. So if you were a developer, what are the things that you would look for in order for you to code?
Where should you get the email address from?
So okay, so we know that, right? Because we are sending it to the account, and every account holder has an email address in the database because that's a required field. So I know where I'm
Maybe if it
getting
goes
the
wrong, who to send it to?
maybe if it was what?
I'm saying based on the response, like if it goes right, then which contact list would the email be sent to, and if it goes wrong, which contacts would from the email list would it be sent to?
No, nope. Uh, it's just one email address that we have, and that's what we're going to send it to. So whether it's right, whether it's wrong, it's going to go to the same email address.
Based on the developer would have to know what message to send, whether it's right or wrong to that email address.
That is correct, but still it's still lacking couple of more details. So I mean, related to that, go ahead and think. I mean, think more. I mean, it's very simple. Trust me, when I reveal the answer, you'll all have a duh moment. It's that simple. So it's important to keep it simple and just think in that direction and not complicate this. All right. So let me just get you the answer for this. So if I am a developer, oh, you know what? I'm just going to use, all right. So help me. If you're writing an email, what are the fields you need in that email?
To, from.
All right. From is the first. To. So who should the to be?
To is the user's email address.
What does this bracket means? I told you.
It differs for every account holder.
So whenever you put brackets like this, it means you need to insert the value of dynamically insert the value of that particular email address, right? Now, what should be the from email address?
It should be the bank's email address.
So who should give you this?
SMEs.
So should you have asked them that?
Yes, that's the first question.
Thank you. Thank you. So you would ask what should be the from email address. So they would say, do not reply at bankofamerica.com. So we got the from, we got the to. What else do you need in an email?
Is it the topic?
So we don't call it the topic, we call it the subject.
We'll ask the subject to the SMEs. What
Exactly, right? So they would give you the subject as well. So let's say they would say, direct deposit notification. What else should go?
We can ask them if we want to put their personal account, the total account number in there, or should we just leave it the last 4 digits so they can
In the subject?
no, in the email. So
Right. So then we want to go in the right sequence, right? So we were talking about subject. So if you're done about the subject, then what should be the next question? You're pretty close there, Jaspreet, just not asking me the right question. Almost there, but just not asking the right question.
so we should ask that should we put in a login tab there so they can actually press it and go straight to the login page?
No. We are on the email. Why are you talking about login? We are talking about email.
Okay, because
So what happens? What comes next in the email? We got the from, to, subject.
The body.
The body, right? So email body, and that's where we say this is a confirmation of the receipt of a direct deposit of Make sense? I'm just making up a bad notification, but whatever it is, they'll just tell you what goes there. And that's how you get the requirements for this. So in your job, you'll write several requirements wherein you need to send notifications. So on the same note, if you had to send text notification, what would get deleted from the requirements?
Your email address.
Sorry?
Will we delete the email address? Because now you have to put a phone number.
Right. So you'll pretty much just have the phone number. This will get deleted. This will get deleted. This will get deleted. And you'll just have text body and you're done. Right? So they'll give you that. So that's how you get the requirements. You want to keep it simple. That's about it. Nothing beyond that. All right. So that was the first scenario. Now, I want to talk about another case study. And this time, I want to talk about searching for something and viewing the results. So again, you'd be writing requirements for creating reports. So let's say I am thinking about, can you talk about a business that we want to run reports on, and we can do some brainstorming on that. So anyone who wants to talk about their particular field that they work on, and I can give you an example and we can do some brainstorming related to that.
What do you mean by run the reports?
Yes, so what happens is that there's a lot of requirements you'll write. Business, any SMEs, they want to run reports to see how their business is performing. So they'll run reports on show me my top performing items for an e-commerce that are being sold, or when I ran this promotion, how many products we sold at what price. And you could run any reports to understand how your business is performing. So let's say I am SME for an insurance company. We sell life insurance, auto insurance, home insurance. So these are the three products. Now, I want to design, or I want to create a report on, I want to create a report on understanding how many new policies did I receive, or how many cancellations happened. All right. So let's do this. This is going to be fun, a little bit complicated, and this will really, really help you understand things much better.
So the first question would be, of course, about the products, and the second would be about what time frame are you looking for?
Great. So see, anytime we talk about a report, what we have to understand is, all right, let me do this. Yahoo stock screener. So what is this called? What you see here? What is this called?
Search bar.
Pretty close. It's called a search filter. Search filter. So let me see if I can find something. Search. So what we can do is I want us to design our own unique search filter. So does anyone have Azure up? Krupa, do you have Azure in your system?
Let me see. I can maybe pull it up. Give me 1 second.
All right, let's do that.
Oh no, I opened another report. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, app open up.
So let's open up Azure.
Oh, and I want to open a new file.
Yep.
Okay, I did.
And then can you share your screen?
Give me 1 second. Okay, how do I do that?
Should be
know,
very.
I have done that before. 1 second.
You would
Okay.
see an option of share screen, right?
Share screen. This will stop other screen sharing. So yes.
That is correct, and that's fine.
And which one should I show? This one? On test.
I mean, are you using multiple monitors? There we go.
Okay, do you see that?
Okay. Yep,
right.
I do. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to bring in box 1.
Okay.
Yep, and you can put that on 0, 0 right on the top, and you can make it 600 wide. Let's do 800, 700 wide, and let's make it 700 by 700. Let's do that. All right. We then do a right click on it and you lock the screen. Lock that. Yep, locking. Yep, so it doesn't move.
No.
You're good. Okay. All right. So then we want.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I was thinking out loud.
All right. So I want all of us to do an input together, right? So what we want to do is you see label. If you scroll a little bit down on the left, there is something called label underneath heading. Yep, label, a little bit up, a little bit up. Keep going up. There you go, label, second row. Now keep going down in the first column. First column, one more. There you go, label. So you want to type in select product. Select product. And then I want to have 3 checkboxes. Life insurance. Second is home insurance. Auto insurance. All right, let's make it a little bit neater. If you can. Double click, hit enter. Not sure why it's good back. One more. Weird. Just delete that checkbox. Yeah, there you go. You were fine. You were right there. Control Z. All right. Then select date. Underneath that, we want to add another filter. So always, whenever you want to type something, you always want to go to label. Select date. Do we have a calendar selection here somewhere? You go to the search underneath libraries. You see libraries? Libraries. Yep, there's a search. Type in calendar.
I don't think we have it.
You don't think any, right? So,
No.
okay, so that's all right. So what you could do is, now let me stop you here. Now, whenever, let's say you are in a requirements gathering session and you are creating this filter for date. So what is the question that you would want to ask here?
From what date till what date you actually need the report from?
Exactly, right? So you want to say, can they just select one date or can they select multiple dates? Meaning, can they have just one date or can they have a range of dates? So a good report should give you flexibility. So what I want to do is I want to give amazing flexibility here. So I want to have two radio buttons. All right. So the first one should say, and I'm just being very innovative here. You may never see such reports, but I'll say one date, zero ONE, one date, and say date range. Okay. Now, what would happen is when you select, and I want, and then we'll go to another label. There are some gaps in the requirements here, which I'm not talking about because I want you to identify those gaps. And then you say, what can we say? We'll talk. I'm searching for a great word for that. We'll say event, EVENT. And I want again two checkbox options. The first should say new policy, or we can say cancellation. And then I want a button. I want a button that should say search. Okay, good. Uh, can you give me the control of keyboard and mouse?
Sure. If I can figure out how to do that.
So you would have a panel, right? If you would have a panel, you can go to participant's name and you can select my name, and there should be an option of give keyboard and control.
And I don't see your name.
Don't you see trainer or
Oh,
something?
okay. Do I have?
Okay.
Do you have the
Click to
access?
start remote. You can control group screen.
Oh,
Do it again. Okay, I can do it now.
Okay.
All right. So now whenever I'm defining this, basically what I want to do is I'm going to do something like this because I'm going to create a section like this within the main page. Something like this. So this is my search filter. Now this filter has lot of missing questions in terms of requirements. Can you help me identify what are they?
The first is the date range. I mean, it's not allowing them to select the date. I'm pretty sure they should have like a calendar. They can select a date or
Correct.
either a range.
Yeah. So we are going to go through that, but so all right. So let me just do that. Now what I can do is sometimes if you don't have an icon, what browser do you use, Krupa?
It's Google Chrome right here on the bottom.
I don't see it. Anyways, that's fine. What I'm going to do
Oh,
is,
sorry. I did click. I'm sorry. I should have not. Sorry about that.
that's okay. I still can use it here. For now, I'm just using this and we'll assume that this is a calendar icon. But ideally what you can do is you could go on Google and you could look for a calendar icon and you could, oh, you know what, or I could just use a table. So this is not how you would do it. It's not allowing me to shrink. Okay, and if I can make it real small. All right, so all right, so we just want to assume that this is a calendar icon. This is not behaving too well with remote control.
Let me know if you want some help here.
Yep, I will. All right. So now, still there are lots of missing requirements. I want you to be able to think and tell me what could be those missing requirements here.
The region where, like, is it going to be all over United States or a particular?
Yeah, uh, that's not a missing question. Let's assume it's all over the US. But what I'm trying to tell you is within what you see here are lots of missing requirements.
We can do the in process because of life insurance. They don't go through right away, so it takes some time for the medical checkup.
I understand, but I'm the business, and for now, I just want to see new policy and cancellation. That's all.
Okay.
So the first missing question you have is, in order for you to search, are these all mandatory fields? Are you following what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that's the most important question.
Because they need to understand, right? Because what all can they, because they might just click without selecting a date range. Then what would you do? So you want to select, you want to display an error message if they don't enter, because I need all the search criteria for the system to display the data. So that was the first question that was missing. So yes, they are all mandatory items for me. Unless they provide me the search criteria, I cannot search. So all the three are mandatory. Then for product, what are there any default selections? So yes, when the page loads, I want this, and this to be default selected. I want by default all the three selected. Are you following what I'm trying to say? Every time you see a checkbox, don't you want to check with them any default selections or not?
Yes, just like you showed us in the other, like we have
Yeah,
some
exactly.
common
So
questions.
yeah, so I mean, so I'm just surprised why you're not asking me those questions, right? Because it's pretty much the same. Then for select date, one date or date range. So again, I want one date as a default selection. And even within one date, I want yesterday's date to be default selected. What is another question that you may want to ask here?
Do you want to display the last month?
Nope.
No.
Nope. But again, the question should be, what happens when they select date range? So what do you expect to see here when they select date range?
From month, from which date?
Exactly. So they'll have two calendars. One should say from calendar to calendar. So that's what should happen when they select date range. And again, for event, I want pretty much both checked. So these are my defaults. What's the next question?
What happens when they click on the search bar?
Exactly. So when they click on the search, I want the system to display the following result. So I'm going to put in a table. It should display the following fields. The first should be, I'm just thinking, date. policy number.
Policy type.
Yes, I just am looking for the exact verbiage. So it says product. So I'm going to just use the word product, but it is policy type. That's what it is. Insert column to the right. Oh, so I'll make this product. I'm going to make this amount. Well, you know what? I'll make this event. And I'm going to make this amount.
Do we have to ask what format do you want in the date?
Absolutely. Absolutely great question. So I want date in the format of DD YYYY. So great question. Amount, I want dollar and whatever that amount is up to 2 decimals. Few more questions related to the results.
So there's only two columns. One is for basically new policy. Another one is for cancellation. Is that right?
There's not 2 columns, right? It's just this column will say new policy or it'll say cancelled. Cancellation.
Can we put the cancellation in color red so it's easy to identify that these are?
Yeah, absolutely. Can definitely do that. But again, you're a business analyst, but you can always suggest them. And I've done that. And it was a good suggestion. So sure, good idea. I'd like to do that.
So we are supposed to ask the color or how the report will look like to the business owners, I mean SMEs.
You can if you have to. I mean, you don't always go into colors, but what he suggested is if it's cancellation, can we just highlight them in red color so it's easy to spot? So yes, yeah.
And then do you want the whole policy number to be displayed or?
Yes, I want the whole policy number to be displayed.
And would you like a different table for each and every product?
Not really. I just want this report for now.
Okay. How far back in day in time do you want to go? Like,
Great question. So that is again related to the date range as to what is the date range, right? So maximum they can select a date range for a year from today's date, not beyond that.
okay.
Now, every time you have something that you are searching and you get results displayed, a very basic question you want to ask is, how do you want to sort the results? If there are 50 results, which one should appear first, which one should appear second, which one should appear third? How do you know that? So my sort criteria is number one, they should be primary sort is they should be sorted by date. So the newest should appear on the top. And second, I want them to be sorted by amount. the highest amount should appear on the top and the lowest amount should appear at the bottom. I could also do another thing, right? I could say I want to sort them by date, but then I want all the cancellations on the top. And after I'm done with all the cancellations, I could have all the new at the bottom. So there's different way of doing it. It's whatever the business wants.
And of course, the more money, more amount ones will be on the top.
Should be on the top. Yep, absolutely. Because what they'll do is they'll use this report to investigate, right? Why are we getting cancellations? And you may want to follow up on them. So the enhanced reporting is very, very crucial for the business. And you would end up creating a lot of requirements for a lot of reports that they want to create to understand how their business is performing.
I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
No, do you want the user to be able to decide what he wants or he or she wants on the top, or how do they want that to display?
What do you mean by that?
Like for example, do they want the cancellation on the top or not? Or do you want the user to be able to select it or no?
How can you do that in the system?
We'll have to have more like.
No. So you could always do that, right? So pretty much you can give them let's do this. We want to give them a capability of them sorting any column. So if they click on the column, it will just sort in one order. And if they click again, it'll sort in the reverse order. So we can always do that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get it now.
So when you click on this column, yep, it will just sort. If you click on product, it'll just sort the products as well. Yeah, the user should be able to sort columns, any column. So it should work that way. Another question that you would ask is, how many results do you want to see on that page? So let's say if there are 75 results, do you just want all of them to be on the same page and you just want to have a scroll bar to go through that? Or you want them nice and big, and if you just want 10 results on a page, or how do you want to do that? So they might also tell you that. And sometimes they say, you know what, I don't care.
So just like we have in our email, like on one page, how many to display, like 50. So do we have to ask them that question? Do you want?
Yeah. You can check with them, right? Saying how many records do you want to display on one page?
And then do you want the user to type in them, or if they're in like 50s or 20s, do you want them like?
Yeah, great. Yeah, absolutely. You can also check, do you want the user to select how many results they want to see on that page? So like 50, 20, or all, and absolutely. All right, anything else you can think of?
Okay, so I know we have two filters, newest and the amount. What if they're similar?
Meaning? The amount is similar?
Yeah, the amount is similar and they both are done on the same day.
Right, so we can also do a tertiary sort, right? So that's a great question. So the primary would be date, the secondary would be amount, the tertiary sort could be event type, and I want cancellations to be displayed before new. Helps? So that was a good question.
Yes, thank you.
All right, I think I hope these two examples really helped you understand how to ask questions, how to gather requirements. It's just a process of being repetitive and sticking to the basics, and there's nothing more to that.
Okay, so I don't know, this might not be related to this like this particular project, but one thing. Okay, so the current project I'm doing it with Texas Coral. What he want is to be able to like review the number from like sales data number from this year to the past year.
Mm-hmm.
But last year was COVID, so the restaurants were closed for almost 45 days.
Okay.
So now he wants to be able to see it, compare it to 2019 instead of 2020. So if like, okay, what I'm trying to say is, in case of any events like that happen, how can
Mm-hmm.
we, like, what are the questions we have to ask as BA for the user to be able to update the data in the table here?
So I'm still trying to understand your goal or questions. If you can repeat that again, please.
Okay, for example, in case you said they should be able to see like within a year, right? The data within a year.
Right, right.
For example, if it was for 2 years and they were able to compare it for 2 years.
Okay.
And for example, last year data is not available for some reason.
Okay.
And we want the like, my question is how should I ask a question for them to be allowed to instead compare it to the year before last year? So that's 2019 instead of 2020. So what are the questions should I ask SMEs for that? Or
So
am
you,
I still not making sense?
no,
What
you
you're
are
trying to
making,
say is,
no, yeah, go ahead.
I think what I'm understanding is that we have a date range of 1 year only. So then I think she had to go back and change that. So maybe she's trying to ask, what questions do we
No,
ask
no,
in
no,
order?
no. So what she's trying to ask is she wants to compare data between 2 years. So let's say 2021 and 2020, but since there were no data because of COVID of 2020, we might want to use data from 2019. Is that what you're trying to ask, Krupa?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now the question you want to ask is, we have the data now, but the question you want to ask is, what are the things that you want to compare within that data? So what is it that you're trying to compare?
It's the sales data of the year.
Sales
I
data.
mean, from that particular date. Yeah.
So so what's the question? So yes, you can compare the sales data, right, between 2019 and 2021. So what is it that you want to talk or ask the business? Is
Eh, like, what should be my question as a BA to SMEs?
so whenever you say sales, I don't think that there's much to ask here, right? Because you're trying to compare sales data. Now, I am assuming it's only one product, or if it's not one product, then you want to say, do you want to compare data for all the product? Now, are you trying to compare just the discounts given, the net amount of the sales? I'm having a hard time understanding the ask here.
You know what? I don't think I'll be able to explain it. Let's just ignore that. That wasn't like that stuck in my mind for some reason, and I cannot stop thinking about
Okay,
it.
but you know that, right? You have my phone number. You can call me during the daytime, and we can brainstorm, and I can help you on this if you need my help. So, okay,
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure I'm clear about it. It's just stuck in my brain.
that's okay. So we'll pass on for now. But if you need any help during the daytime while you're at work, you can just call me, and I'll be able to help you.
For sure. Thank you.
All right. So you can stop sharing the screen now, and I'm going to take over the control. Stop participants sharing. Now, I am going to share my screen. I am just all right. So sharing my screen again. So what I now want to walk you through is I just want to walk you through some. I've created 2 FRDs for training purposes. So I just want to walk you through some realistic kind of FRDs. So the first FR, and I'm going to email this to you as well. So the first FRD is from a finance company. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to add a new account type. So finance, it's a wealth management company. And what we are trying to do is we are trying to add a new account type called a junior stocks and shares junior ISA account to the existing suite of account types that they have. So if you look at the requirements, it says number one, add a new account type. So, and this is only for UK firms, not for the US firms. For UK firms, display a new account type of stocks and shares junior ISA. Now, when you create that new account type, what should be the default account registration name? So it's saying for account type equals stocks and shares junior ISA, the default account name should be primary owner first name, middle name, last name, and then stocks. So now see the way this is written, it's written in parentheses like this, or you could also put it in parentheses like that. It just means dynamic insert. So example, John Alfred Smith, stocks and shares junior ISA. Restrict account type, only display this account if the client type is individual. So it only is applied to individual accounts. This is not available for business accounts. Restrict ownership type. Again, the ownership has to be individual. And there are some platform defaults. You have to calculate the age of the primary owner. You want to make sure that the age is less than 18 years. So that's more like a business rule. So there are 2 business rules here. One is the age. The another rule is this account type is only available for individual and not business. And then talks about who can be a registered contact and things like that. So it's pretty simple, but I just want you to understand the flow. This is in terms of a finance requirement when we are trying to add a new account type. And I'll email this to you so you'll have a better idea of this. Any questions on what you just see it here briefly?
So functional document is basically like you asked me the question the other day.
Yeah.
It's basically what we are going to do and what
how are we going to do that? So
how
what is in the BRD as to the goal is we want to add a new account type, what needs to be done.
right.
But how needs to be done is your functional requirements document.
And okay, got it. Thanks.
All right, so this is regarding a finance domain. I'm going to share another FRD, which is from airlines that all of you can relate to. So when you talk about an airlines, right, what I want you to take a look here is that this is more like a real-time format of a functional requirements document. So I'm going to email this. It has sign-offs and approvals table, wireframes, change log if you're trying to make any changes. So it will have the current environment, assumptions, if any, summary of systems impacted. So the goal of this is so every airline companies, right, they have some rewards program for the customers. So when you are a frequent flyer, you get certain rewards. So the goal here is we are trying to introduce a new reward for our members, frequent flyers. And the reward is if you're traveling to Las Vegas. So the name of this project is we are creating a Las Vegas club. So if you are my frequent flyer member, and if you're traveling to Las Vegas, you will get some discounts via this program on hotels in Las Vegas and over car rentals, and you also get discounted tickets of shows in Las Vegas. So that's the whole purpose of this. So anytime you want to start up a new program, you come up with a new promotion. How do you let the customers know that a new promotion is on the way? What is the first thing that you would have to do? How would you let your members know that we are coming up with a new promotion?
Advertisement.
Advertise. I'm sorry.
How?
An
All
email
right.
blast?
The very first thing you do is you want to send automated emails to those customers. So your first function is you want to send automated emails. So that's number one. So what are the rules for sending automated emails? So business rule one, a member who meets all the following criteria is eligible to receive emails. So they must be a member of the airline miles, and they must have purchased a ticket from any city in North America to Vegas via any payment source other than airlines, other than using the miles over the past 18 months, and they must be a resident of Hawaii. So these are the three criteria. Ongoing Las Vegas profile creation and remove Las Vegas. So these are all the rules related to this. Then the functional requirements for sending the email. These are the functional, and I'm not walking you through this. I'm going to email you this. You can just read them. It's related to airlines, so you should be able to understand this. Then, so that's the first thing. Then they have to update the page where you have to add a new promotion. So what I've done here is I've taken examples of hawaiianair.com and I've taken screenshots from there just for learning purposes. So this were the current promotions, and then I just added a new promotion on there. So I'm saying we want to update the Hawaiian Miles page update. So we want to add a new promotion here. So that's this requirement. Then what happens when you click on learn more? When you click on this, it will take you to another page which talks exclusively about this promotion. So the next requirement is a new page where you have to add Vegas Club page. So when you go to this page by clicking learn more, this page is exclusively going to talk about the promotions. Then every link will have a separate requirements for that. So if you click on sweepstakes enrollment, it's going to take you another page where you are going to talk about how to enroll in sweepstakes. So those are the requirements. I don't think I have the wireframe for sweepstakes enrollment, so I'm going to keep it blank here. But this is just a classic example of how you would write your functional requirements document. Any questions? I went through pretty quickly here because it won't be possible for me to read you line by line, but I'll send this to you in an email so you can read it at ease. And since this is related, this is, you know what I'll do just to make it easy? Yeah, I'll email it to you, read it at your own convenience. It's airline, so you should all be able to clearly understand what this is all about. Any questions? So this is all about case studies regarding gathering requirements and documenting your FRD.
So I have a question. Does
Yeah.
companies usually have like a format for the already made up for?
Yeah, so pretty much every companies, right, they would have a template for
Oh, okay.
FRD, and you simply plug and play.
Oh, okay.
So, and this is again a classic example of how a template would look like, and you just have to plug and play.
No problem.
All right, so I think that's all I wanted to cover for this session. Thank you very much.